We have our strategic sessions. I don't know. It may not be too late, but start early. Are we ready?
It takes a while to start the live.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Just-
I think I see.
just-
I see what I'm seeing.
Thank you. So everybody's, we're not live streaming.
I'm like, am I seeing?
Wow.
Yes, you're seeing what you're seeing. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, and I'll record. Sorry, give me 1 second. I would like to record on my computer.
Ledge calendar for the year.
Good afternoon. I would like to call the Cities Association Executive Committee meeting to order. This is January 8th, 2026. And let's start with a Happy New Year wishes to everyone. Shally, can we start with roll call, please?
Yes. Tina Walia,
Here.
J.R. Fruin,
Here.
Elliot Scazola,
Here.
Rosemary Kamei, absent, Larry Klein.
Here.
With 4 present, we have quorum.
Yeah, thank you. Rosemary said she was not able to join directly, but
Okay.
we are hoping that she can at least call in on the phone
Yes.
as a member of the public and support us.
Oh. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, she might be here.
Could you-
She's here. Yeah, I'm
Wonderful.
gonna promote her to panelist.
Oh, wonderful.
Wait, I'm sorry, time out. So we didn't notice her remote attendance, right?
She's not.
Yes,
Yeah,
she will
she's
be as a
yeah.
member of the
Public.
public. Andrew,
So she's just listening in, she's not participating?
as a member of the public.
She'll comment as member of the public during comment.
Okay.
We've done that.
Yes, yeah.
But as a
Andrew's not
courtesy, I'm gonna promote her to panelist so that easier for her to comment when we do public comment.
Okay,
Oh, she declined to be promoted.
Okay, that's fine.
okay,
Fine.
okay, wonderful.
Sorry.
So do we have any oral communications from the public on any non-agendized items? No, the public in the room declines, Shally. Do we have anyone online?
No one online.
They shake their head quite vigorously.
Yes. They are the best supporters, the best public we have. Nothing, no one online?
No one
Okay.
online.
Let's get started with the agenda. So the consent agenda has minutes from the exec committee meeting from October 23rd, 2025. Any proposed changes, suggestions, open for public comment?
There's no public comment on this item.
Okay. Andrew, no comment from you? Are we good? Okay,
No comment.
motion
thank
to
you.
approve.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
moved by Elliot and approved by Fruin. Sorry, I'm so too early in the year. My first meeting of the year. I can't keep track of first names and last
We all
names.
get half a pass.
Okay.
Would you like me to take the vote? Okay. Motion to approve the consent calendar as presented was made by Scazola, seconded by Fruin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Move on to item number B. You may notice we changed that because there was so much confusion with the ledge and the board meeting agendas, number 1 here, number 1 there.
Oh.
So let me know. Your feedback would be appreciated. We thought we can just change it this way, so there's less confusion. So item B is the president's update. Well, really not an update, starting the year ahead and looking forward to working with all of you. I'm very excited. It's a great team. And thank you so much, Sunnyvale, for hosting us. We were unable to have a conference room with the right technology available today. We had a conflict. And January is always a strange month at Cities Association. But I'm really excited with the work that the executive director has done in the last few weeks to put a great structure in place. And it's going to be a great year.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Any comments on that?
Just one thing with regard to the agenda, since you changed the numeration, maybe to avoid confusion on it itself, maybe if we changed the first indents from lowercase to maybe lowercase Roman numerals, just so that they're,
Avon?
yeah. So my thought is just, if you're trying to refer to multiple, subdivisions of a particular line item, it might get a little difficult when you're saying AA and AB and
Okay.
Yeah.
Super. we toyed with that. So Shally, could you please make a note
Sure.
that we'll move that, change that one? Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Moving on to agenda items.
Public.
Did I? Okay, public comment?
There's no public comment.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Moving on to agenda item C, the 2026 meeting calendar for the Executive Committee, the Board of Directors meetings, the Legislative Action Committee, and the City Selection Committee for the year. So this is a discussion item and definitely an action item. Shally, do you want to present this?
Yeah,
You
I
had
just-
this in the packet?
Yes. So I just wanted to explain that in previous years, it's caused a little bit of confusion.
Mhm.
The dates, they don't quite line up because we have some, because the executive committee meeting is now 2 weeks before the board meeting, sometimes it falls into a different month. And so just please tell me if this is not clear to everyone. So I put a thick line here and I made an arrow, and the arrow is explained down here where the executive committee, you read it horizontally,
Mhm.
okay? So the executive committee meeting on January
Can
8th
you-
approves the agendas for these meetings.
Can you share this?
Oh, online? Sure. Sure, actually, oh, oops. Okay. It'll just take me a minute, sorry. Here we go. Meeting calendar. Mhm. Okay, can everyone,
There you go.
you can see it, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that's that's better.
Yeah.
So the executive committee date now lines up with the board, the legislative action committee, and city selection committee
Mm.
meetings for which you're approving the agenda. And I don't know if it's clear, but January 8th, where there's 5 agendas that you're looking at.
Mhm.
February 26th, you're looking at the March 12th board and legislative action. And same thing, you just kind of read it horizontally. And I thought it might also make it easy for members of the public because quite a few executive admins and city clerks have reached out to me asking what our meeting dates are.
Hmm.
And so I've sent this to them, but I've told them that it's draft and it has not been approved by the board. So once the board approves, then I'll send them the approved version. And so that's my explanation, just reading it horizontally. If that explanation is not clear, please let me know. The June meeting, sorry, the executive committee meeting in the summer, where you're approving the August agendas, you could either do it in June or you could do it in July. Typically, we don't meet in July,
Mhm.
but it's totally up to this executive committee if you'd like to do the August agendas in either June or July. So I think that would be one decision point. And then once this agenda goes to the board, if you will see, at the very bottom of the text, the annual holiday party, I left the date as TBD. And so I am just seeking direction on the 2 highlighted.
Thank you. May I add something?
Yes, please.
If you can scroll up.
Yeah.
So the February 12th meetings, both the board and the Legislative Action Committee, we put the agendas, the draft agendas for today to discuss. But really the turnaround time has been so little that even when we are reaching out to folks, we are not getting the responses.
Mhm.
So a couple of ways to address it. One is we were looking at the dates. I believe for all on the executive committee, none of our councils meet on Mondays.
Mhm.
To give Shally enough time, turnaround time to post the agenda for the Feb 12th meeting on that respective Monday, I believe that would be the 9th. We could either add an exec committee meeting on February 2nd, Monday,
Mhm.
or the other approach is, of course, we give direction today for me to work with Shally. And just wanted to bring that to your attention. So, past president, Mayor Juan.
Sure. So from my standpoint, and this is kind of going on to the next item, I don't think we need try to fit in another executive committee meeting there.
Mhm.
I think leaving it up to you and Shally
Mhm.
to figure out if there's any agenda changes.
Mhm.
allow you to do that on your own.
Mhm.
So I think that's fine.
Mhm.
My only other comment could
Oh, sorry,
to
sorry. I was just trying to get ahead of myself.
it's upper tab there. Then my only other comment is there should be, I would go ahead and put a May 14th city selection committee meeting in here,
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
wherever, there it is again.
Okay, I have no idea what this is doing. I'm gonna stop share and just do it again.
I think you were sharing the document before, now you're sharing
I don't-
close that
Meeting.
window. There you go. Just
Well, that's the
Iconify.
YouTube window.
Yeah, I know.
Right now.
Iconify the window
What
and
is
go
that?
back to your share, which I don't think was through the browser. I think it was through.
No, it wasn't through the browser. You know, I'm just gonna close this. There we go.
Deeper and deeper and deeper and
Yeah,
deeper.
I
Yes, it
see
is.
that, yeah. I think I've seen that in a movie one time.
Yeah,
at least.
As
Right.
long as that
Sorry.
doesn't stop our YouTube, we're fine.
Stop share.
Some kind of
No, we'll try it
philosophy
again.
question there.
Okay, I'll bring it up while you.
Okay, so basically, I think we should go ahead and plan for a May 14th city selection committee meeting.
Mhm.
If we don't need it, then we'll cancel it, but
Mhm.
usually by mid-year,
Mhm.
either a position is opened up or something, there's a term that finishes mid-year that we need to appoint or somebody has resigned. So let's just go ahead and plan for that from a meeting standpoint. So that's my only other change.
Do you have any recommendations based on past experience with the June 25th or July 23rd? What happens is it's mostly the LAC that gets more information late July,
Mhm.
even though we don't have meetings. So one approach is we choose one of the two dates and maybe internally, all of us, we block both dates. And then we call it a special meeting if we need to swap. That's one approach.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I actually think that sort of the operative date that's almost more important in that span of time is May.
Hmm.
Because the governor issues the May revise. This past year, it was issued on the 14th.
Mhm.
It doesn't have a set date. It tends to be in the middle of the month.
Mhm.
It's seldom though before the 15th with any kind of useful time. So I do kind of wonder if it's possible for us to consider the Thursday immediately following the 14th, which would be what, 21st?
Of May.
Yeah.
Do you have an extra meeting?
No, to have the May meeting on that day instead.
LAC meeting?
The,
Or all meeting?
the either or. But if we wanted the board to be able to take position on something, they would need to be able to meet that day. So I would offer that as a substitute because it would be useful to have information on what has come through the May revise and to see where things sit going into the budget process, because a whole lot of things will happen very quickly and we don't have a lot of agility in that span. So I'm just putting it out there.
Please, Larry.
My only-
I think I'm going to agree with what you're going to say.
No, not necessarily. If from a LAC standpoint, if that makes more sense, fine. And then conceivably cancel the LAC meeting on the 14th,
Mhm.
making it a special meeting. It's up to the board overall, whether or not they want a special meeting kind of out of sequence.
Mm.
But would planning for at least a selection committee, the question is at that point, how much power, it's like things are kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, and whether or not it's educational on what makes it or what doesn't make it across the line. Is May 21st, and this is a question for your experience, is that day for sure at the end of?
No.
And that's a
it's not.
question.
So we could do June the 11th, that would be
After.
fine. It would be just, it would be very close to time on trying to influence anything. But if that's what we've got to do, like I said, I just want us to have that discussion because I think it's useful.
President Malia?
Yes,
I
please.
just wanted to remind you that in either May or June, we have our June membership event.
Yes.
Right.
So it would impact.
That's a challenge. And the other thing is having any board meeting out of sequence. That's why I said
Sure.
what Mayor Klein is going to say. I'm going to agree. It's
No, I know.
going to be very poorly attended. I'll just say it as flat out. It's going to cause a lot of schedule clashes with 15 of us. And I know we considered this even last year and we finally decided to stay with our regular schedule. We can certainly present this to the board. How about, my suggestion would be, and I want to hear other parts. My suggestion would be, we take it like this to the board with maybe we mark that date,
Mhm.
circle that. And
For
that here-
consideration.
For
Yeah, sure,
consideration.
I could comment on it if you like at the time so that it can be,
Yes.
that would be fine.
Elliot, did you have any thoughts? I'm just going to stick to
No,
first names. for
Yeah,
now,
no, I was happy with the calendar and these details that I just learned right now seem very valuable. So I kind of like this, bring it to the board, and just see what the temperature in the room is, but I for one am also a little bit more cautious. And I think, of course, if it's just strictly informational, so be it, I just hope that everyone can be as informed as possible if we can't really, even if it means, oh, we're so limited on our time and our action potentially, like I would fall on the side of it better for us to at least be informed, and see what we can do or just decide not to do or wherever we fall in the mix, Yeah.
So going back to the May 14th thing.
Mhm.
You trying to move it a week out means that you now conflict with Los Altos Hills regular council meeting.
Okay.
Which is
There we go.
always, which is always
So
an ongoing issue.
maybe that answers the question overall, and we
Yeah.
just do June the 11th. It just means we should try to have that meeting.
Right. The only problem with June 11th, of course, which I finally caught on is that's normally the
event.
The event.
Yes.
Now, whether or not LAC could conceivably meet before that event, and that at least pulls in the LAC attendees
Yes.
a little early, and normally our events, that summer event starts a little bit later anyway, and we've had executive committee and other committees prior to either a holiday party or a summer event in the past, but that's, the problem is you can't take action because it's then no board meeting. So
So
we
it would
wouldn't
have
have
to be the board that would take the action. So I mean, unless,
Yeah.
but you're convening it, I'm assuming, as a board meeting anyway for the event.
Yeah.
So you could have one action item on it at the beginning. And since there is substantial overlap between the members of the LAC and the members of the board, you'll be going in kind of knowing where things sit anyway.
I hear you and I can share with you what happened 2 years ago. I was the LAC chair. We had that meeting because that was an event sponsored by SVCE.
Mhm.
And so we had Monica present at the LAC meeting. And Zoe and Monica, there was in the LAC meeting, it was very poorly attended. So much so there was something we needed to vote on and the LAC committee itself did not.
Did not inform.
People came
Hmm.
later, even when
Yeah.
Charlie had reached out to them, I had reached out to them. They just said, no, we're coming for the event.
That could also be a feature of June because June is June.
Yes.
So
There are
Sure.
multiple things we have toyed with and thank you, Larry, for pointing out the May 21st conflict. Because that's what I feel very strongly, having a regular meeting on a date when there is, both of you have heard, actually all three of you heard my opinion on that. Having a meeting when there is a council regular meeting
Mhm.
happening that day.
Sure.
I think it's
So I guess then the contingency here might be maybe we do some sort of informational memo to the entire LAC and to the board on what the updating them on what the May revise was. And where things are headed. And
Mhm.
perhaps at the May meeting, we can get, the bylaws allow for the LAC chair to issue letters on basically things that we've already voted on that are
Mhm.
substantially similar, and maybe we could simply adopt a miniature platform of, if these things come up, you're authorized to do
Oh,
this. And then we don't have to have a meeting in that span of time, and you have the agility that you need.
If we have very close, and then I like the way you're going with that part. If we can get that voted on by LAC.
Yep.
On May 14th.
Yep.
And by the board.
Yep.
Then I'm happy to consider signing
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Letter. But I would like it to be as close and as specific so that the board is able to vote on.
Sure,
it
so
on
maybe
May
we
14th.
do specifically a budget-related legislative platform.
I'm pretty sure the LAC chair would appreciate your help on that.
Okay.
Set that up for May 14th.
No, but that could then,
Yes.
that could be a discussion point at some other, point in the course of the lax meetings leading up to that date.
Sure.
And then it can get finalized then.
Larry, your thoughts and your experience? What is the best course of action
I think,
considering
I
the
think that
dates?
makes sense from a date standpoint to just try to pre-approve anything that you can at the May 14th
Mhm.
meeting.
Mhm.
But from this chart,
Mhm.
not the assumption that June 11th is going to be a board meeting
Yeah.
or a
Mhm.
LAC meeting,
right.
but call it out as summer event.
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
Just because it's not, it's mentioned in the next item, but
Yeah.
but I do think it's important here that it's like, oh, it's not going to be a normal meeting.
Yeah, just like we are saying December holiday party, so we call it a summer
Right.
event. Thank you.
So do you want me to change it on the calendar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this will be the third June in a row that I've been here, that June is when the summer event is and not
Mhm.
May.
Mhm.
So should I make that assumption that the June meeting is the summer event special meeting?
Let's go to the board with that. And if we
Okay.
need to change it to May 14th, okay, that gives me pause for a second. Shally is making me think, do we want to consider swapping the May and June?
Well, we'd have to turn it into a spring event if we did that.
I am happier with the June event because the way I have been thinking and working with Shally, having a few meetings before the June
Uh-huh.
event
Yes,
and then a few meetings after kind of balances itself out.
I agree. The momentum feels about right to me. Like just from the last year, June felt right. May felt a little early still. We're still working on some things, so
Okay.
I feel June's a good time for the summer event. We'll keep it a summer event. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel June's a good day.
So let's do that. Any thoughts for the EC meeting, the June or the July dates that you're saying? Let's choose one and pencil the other one in. That way we don't struggle with our schedules, or just choose one and leave it at that.
I would personally, just to put the first voice out there, I do prefer June for
Mhm.
myself, just to leave July open. Like
But
I love clearing my schedule as much as humanly possible. I'm sure a lot of us like to do that, where it's just like, oh, July, like I have a summer, and when we start, pushing dates into July a little bit, it's not just me. I feel like other people don't participate as much. They're already kind of tuning out by July. They know it's typically the break, and so I think if we can get as much business done by the June date, then we can truly have a break in July. That's my personal opinion on that.
Very good, Wolfson.
My only question is, it's 2 months, so it's more than 2 months away from our meeting.
Oh,
And so,
right.
will the agendas be terribly relevant? That's going to be a particular problem for the LAC.
Yes.
I take back my previous.
I mean,
We were
Eric,
waiting for you to reach that conclusion.
Yeah.
So the board agenda can be tentative,
Yes.
with
Yes.
enough room given to me and Shally to work through it.
Mhm.
It's a lack agenda that would be a challenge.
yeah, what we've done in the past when we've encountered these is to sort of over agendize and then just
Huh.
strike things if it
Sure.
didn't make any sense to entertain them. But there are some things that it would be good to at least kind of have some clarity ahead of time on, and unfortunately, just looking at what the legislative calendar out of Sacramento is like, stuff
Mhm.
happens all the way through the end of June. So
That's true.
we just won't, like, there are some things that are definitely gonna be on the August 13 agenda, like sort of a wrap up of where do our current watched bills sit, right? Have they made their way through? Because there will be some that make their way through by that point. There will also be vehicles that get gutted and amended in that period, and it would be good to have some sort of placeholder that addresses that, but you won't know until they're happening. So
Larry, your thoughts?
And looking at the calendar, to do it off cycle, we could actually do July 30th.
Oh, that's almost
Which
out of
is-
July right there.
Which
I
is
kind of like that
actually
idea.
2
That
weeks
seems
ahead
good.
of the 13th, not, so it's the fourth, there's 4, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Thursdays in July, but the 2 weeks ahead of our August 13th meeting is actually July 30th and not July 23rd.
that will
I-
probably also be better for, I know that she hasn't said anything yet, but for Rosemary, San Jose shuts down in July. And most council members are out of town during that period. So if it's at the end, she's more likely to be back or able to participate from a reasonable remote place.
Okay, that makes sense. I was going to ask her next. And my other question is for Andrew, just thinking that's the perfect opportunity.
Excuse me.
Andrew, for an executive committee meeting,
Mm-hmm.
July is a perfect time. Some of us may be in town, but not quite working. Most city councils take July off. And some may be out of the county. So
Okay.
if we had to schedule a date, what would give you quorum to let a meeting happen? You need 3 in the county?
Yeah, we would
If-
need
if-
we would need
if they are
3 to stay
noticed.
local. Yeah, we would need 3 to stay local.
And they could be in 3 different locations.
Let me double check that really quick if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of the situation if we need to have ever an EC meeting with only one person for the main location agendized, and the others could be noticed, of course,
Mhm.
elsewhere. And some others could be out of the county
Mm.
and noticed. Okay, so Larry, on this one, you are suggesting July 30th, essentially. I think that's a great idea,
Yeah.
right? Okay, your thoughts on the holiday party? We have gone full circle on that Thursday. We have gone to considering Friday. We have gone to Sunday in December, the last few years that I'm seeing. So I'm going to start with Larry because his is the latest experience.
I think the holiday party, so this is always a problem. It's like this year we scheduled the holiday party and of course Rotary, South County Rotary
Mhm.
had a big Rotary event. So we got almost no one from South County.
Yep.
And you don't know until, so bringing that up earlier, but
Holiday parties are always.
holiday parties. But we used to do it on Thursdays and ended up often conflicting with Silicon Valley Leadership Group.
Mm.
You have VTA on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
So you have, that's why we ended up moving it to Sunday because we thought if that cleared up. And I think we had good general membership attending this year.
Mhm.
But I think Sundays, the first or second Sunday are best choices in general.
Hmm.
And you don't know who else will schedule something differently.
Mhm.
But normally that gets rid of the bigger organizations and standing meetings that they're trying to finalize before the end of the year. So Sunday has worked out well
Mhm.
in general, but not looking at
But,
this year.
but we know there'll be conflicts. And may I
always.
quickly add one
As long
more
as it's
thing?
not the first Saturday, because we've conflicted with Hanukkah and even conceivably the
Oh,
first
yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
We've conflicted with Hanukkah in the past. But Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Mhm.
Just my suggestion is 11th, 12th, or 13th are best dates.
Okay,
And I'll leave it at that. I don't, it's always hard to pick dates, but usually the second weekend. And we kind of chose over the last few years, a Sunday seems to be better, but it's never easy.
thank you for capturing that so well. the other challenge we have had, this is an election year. So 2 years ago,
Oh,
you may
yes.
recall, we were running from Cupertino, a few of us, the reorg happening there. Los Altos Hills had their reorg. And then we drove into Mountain View for that event with Girish there getting the Champions Award.
Mhm.
So that was the Thursday challenge. And this year with the election year, we're going to have that. There'll be cities that will be doing their reorgs on
Mhm.
one of those Thursdays. And so when is the election date? Election is November 3rd. So the results will be certified by the end of that first week, the 4th. So if we go by the suggestion made by Mayor Klein just now, if you're looking at December 13th, Sunday, we have incoming council members,
Yes.
whether they have taken oath of
Mhm.
office or not.
Mhm.
And we know who are outgoing council members.
Yes, yes.
So that would help.
Yeah, no, if I can comment on that, I think that that's actually a really great time of transition where it's clearly defined what the transition is going to be at that point. Hopefully, there's always those screwy elections, of course, but yeah, I mean, I remember my first time I was invited, by my predecessor, to the event, and it was right in that, I believe it was right around in that transition time where it's like we knew who's going out, who's coming in,
Yeah.
and I was welcome, and it was a beautiful event, and then everyone was honored who was going out,
Yeah.
and so if we can continue that tradition, then
Perfect.
we must, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So the only odd cities are Sunnyvale that doesn't like to decide in January, right? You do a couple of rounds of
Wait,
counting.
there was one more city I believe you mentioned.
So to capture no executive committee meeting in for the February 12th meetings, we don't need it. We'll work through the agendas just now, and I'm looking at the time. I think we need to pace up.
Oh.
And May 14th, we'll add city selection committee. And June 11th, we'll call out as the summer event. The exec committee will be July 30th. And we are adding December 13th as the date. Did I get that right?
I believe so. The 13th is
Sunday.
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 Yeah.
It's a lucky date.
And then Tina, I
like
did
it.
just want to respond to your earlier question about remote meetings. So if we do need to use the remote meeting option, we need at least a quorum in the county, but not necessarily the same room.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
hope that
three in the
helps.
county, noticed in the county.
Right. And then a couple others on vacation somewhere. Yes.
Sure. Okay, that works. Let's have public comment. Rosemary, I hope the dates we talked about would generally be okay.
I'm going to stop share for a second, and he doesn't have her.
Ask if she has any.
Okay,
Oh.
now she's,
Taking public comment. Do we have a
Yes.
member of the public with their hand up?
No.
No?
but I have permitted talking for her.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I am in agreement with what has been proposed and thus far don't have any conflicts.
Wonderful. So we have a plan to take to the board rather than the discussion. I really appreciate JR's suggestion of an informational memo for that time frame of later half of May, once something comes out of Sacramento. Okay, what's next
Do we have to take a
on
motion?
this? Yeah, anyone else member of the public before we go for a motion?
No one
Okay.
else, no one else online.
Closing public comment. Do we have a motion to approve these dates?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, who
I-
made the motion?
JR approved and
Okay.
seconded by Larry.
Okay. Motion to approve the 2020, or to recommend to the board to approve their 2026 meeting calendar with the changes discussed was made by Fruin, seconded by Klein. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Motion passes unanimously.
Wonderful. Now we'll move on to item number D for David, which is the 2026 governance calendar for Cities Association. It's also a discussion and action item. So let's move through this a little faster. Shally, do you want to walk us through this? I'm really thankful to Larry for starting this governance calendar in 2025, starting that keeps us on track with all the actions that we need to take. And both Andrew and Jani have been working with Shally for that. My input has been a blank column for Elliot to get filled for the
Yes.
Legislative Action Committee this year, and some of the other minor tweaks here and there. So Shally, it's yours.
Okay, so this calendar is organized by the fiscal year because the way we plan our events just work out that way. So it's broken into board activities, which is what is the board business that needs to be done. There's definitely a cadence to some of the things that we do. For example, our budget. I always present our budget to the city managers in February to get their input, include their input, present it to the board for a first read in March, and then the board votes on it in April. So that's just one example. And so then there's a budget and financial column. And previously, there was only the executive director activities, because there are some things that I do that are very like calendar based. Since we're adding the Legislative Action Committee column now, I didn't know what to put in there, so I'm waiting for input.
I
From
can
our-
give you input today because I
Oh.
scribbled out a whole bunch of notes based on what we did last year and what was in my original plan that all got thrown to the wind with the fires in Southern California.
Oh,
If you want me to go over it, I can.
Do you,
do we want to go through the detail now, or in the interest of time, I would suggest
I
just
mean, I
send it
can
to
just send it to
Shally.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine.
and Shally can work with the LAC chair, and once it comes to the board.
Perfect.
Do we need to take any,
Okay.
I'll take comments, but I'm just wondering, do we also need to take action on this one? I'm not so sure. Andrew, do we need to take an action? Where'd you go?
You're not required to do so. It's up to you.
Wonderful. So,
Yeah,
Larry, your thoughts.
And I
please.
think it's fine to just give our comments to Shally and have her update accordingly.
Mhm.
The actions for January, so we assume a city selection committee in January.
yeah,
The same actions that you're doing for that. I don't think we need a column for selection committee, but the actions that you're doing for January move to May also. Just so that it's the assumption that we always have those two meetings, but that's my only comment, off the top of my head.
thank you.
And I'll go through it again, but I think that is important from that standpoint.
I'm so glad you're bringing that up. That was one of the things we were talking. We want to control the multiple meetings that sometimes happen with the
Yeah.
city selection committee. So that'll be great to just peg it as that's the date. And hopefully just limit it to those two.
So just for myself, I don't mean to go back to this. So on the calendar going forward, like next year and the year after, always put a city selection committee meeting in May.
Yes.
Okay.
And if we need to cancel it, we cancel it,
Okay,
but it always seems to be there's positions open by the time we get to mid-year.
yes.
Any other
Okay.
comments? No. Public comment?
No one online has their hand raised.
Anyone in the room? No. Okay. I'm going to move on from that item to item number E for England. Review the January 22nd meeting agendas. And these are three big agendas. Let's start with the city selection committee meeting agenda. I'm going to give that to Shally. And it's really Mayor Klein's meeting. So do you want to just leave
My-
comments on that?
Yeah, my only comments were, and you sent me email earlier today with Nisa resigning from ABAG.
Yes.
That you list with the assumption as opposed to reappointing in May, that it's for the remainder. So you should list terms
Yeah.
in the agenda. And not in,
Yeah.
and it's in the details and everything else as far as what you sent out, but it's the remainder of 2026 through June.
Okay,
And then it's the 2 years from July 2026 through 2028. So we don't have to reappoint at the end, as opposed to you're on 5 months and then we have to go through another appointment process.
Yeah.
I think that's
Okay.
fine, because most likely we'll have all the mayors here in January.
okay.
We don't always have that in May.
So for the ABAG one.
Yep.
Then it's really. It's several votes. It's the seat A
Yep.
until June 30th, and then seat A for the full 2-year term. And then, of course, all the other seats are up also. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Ew.
And I'll add the term lengths to the agenda
Correct.
For all the terms.
for all of them.
Perfect. I really like that. That provides clarity.
Yeah, let's just get it over with now.
So
Yeah.
So Bay Area Air District is pretty straightforward. Silicon Valley Regional Interoperability Authority. So the ETA has had a meeting, I believe on January 7th, which was yesterday. I don't know the outcome of that meeting, but they're appointing someone to SVRIA, and whoever they appoint, that's going to likely impact which cities are eligible. And so once I know that, then I will send an update to all council members in the county,
Right.
just letting them know.
And the only other thing I would do for item B or for bad.
Yeah.
Swap that. It's now bad,
Oh,
formerly ACMET,
yes.
but focus on their new name and trying to use the right branding going
Yeah.
forward.
No, for sure. Thank you. Okay. And then I don't know if you all saw my email about the BCDC seat. They are likely going to, so there is a council member from Menlo Park, the city of Menlo Park, who holds the South County seat. Her term expires, that's the seat that we would be nominating for. Her term expires December of this year. And so I've been in touch with Fred Castro, who was the clerk for ABAG. And he said very likely the call for nominations will come out in September.
Okay,
So this is one of the things that we do. We would nominate someone who then that name gets forwarded to the ABAG board president, and then they vote.
let's do that in May,
Okay,
just
Okay.
for that sake.
excellent.
No reason to do kind of, yeah, understand.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, that's the city selection committee agenda.
Okay.
It starts at 5:30, and I have confirmation that the clerk of the Board of Supervisors, Jess Jameson, she will be back.
Good.
Oh, Mayor Klein,
Mhm.
number 4, last year, we voted to approve or accept the rules and regulations for how the city selection committee works. Did you want to review those rules this year, since they might,
Just
or no?
put them as an info, we don't need to review them.
Okay,
Put that as an info item, please. Thanks for pointing that out, just because there's new mayors. So they have an understanding of, so it's there, but we don't need to approve it. It's a waste of time.
okay. And are we selecting a chair and a vice chair as
We
well?
always have to.
Oh, every year?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be acting and then we go through the process, but as
Okay.
long as the mayor, it's fine. I'm happy to run that meeting and it just makes things go smoother.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Then I think I'm clear. And then the next, in the order of timing, would be the Legislative Action Committee meeting, which will start at 6:15. And then so I need a little bit of direction
Sure.
from the LAC chair.
Yeah. Well, I think for this first meeting in January, it's always, you never know who's going to be coming in new. You want to give that overview. What is LAC? General introduction. Who am I? Coming into it. Who's our former LAC chair, et cetera. Just kind of give that big overview, regardless if you heard it or not. And then I am definitely going to be relying on my predecessor, Mr. Fruin, to get more specific on the actual calendars, whether it's the actual Sacramento legislative calendar or our own LAC calendar, but just to try and give the overall, agenda for the year and just how things are going to work. Just give the feel of like, why are you here? Oh, welcome to LAC, that kind of thing. But then also, I think it's important that we try in, because apparently last year it wasn't so successful on giving a homework assignment for, hey, can we, we really want to know, the whole point of this, well, one of the points of this organization is trying to find those common grounds that we can all work, together on. And sadly, not too many cities came back with, oh, we're passionate about this, or we hate that, or we're neutral. It wasn't too much is what I'm understanding of feedback that we got here. So I'm hoping to change that. I want this year to really be, and maybe that's just going to be me being a little bit annoying. I don't know. We'll see. But I might be, okay, apparently, yes, I will be the annoying person this year. I always am. But anyways, in particular this year, I'm hoping to really encourage, let's say encourage that we really get some genuine feedback. Guys, tell me what do your cities care about? What do they despise, or anything in between, but give us something, so I'll probably develop my own email to communicate out, to the various members involved. But I'm hoping that by February, we'll come back with some real good stuff, fun things to have a real solid discussion on. Just get the year off rolling really good. And also by February, we should have our LAC calendar also in order. And so we're just going to get the January's introduction. That's what we're getting things in order. Hi, it's me, Elliot, and hopefully we'll have a really solid year. That's my goal. That's my plan.
Chair Scuzola, sorry. Whose names should I put for 3A, B, and C?
Oh, A, definitely be me. That'll be like the more general introduction. And then I would put, so long as JR approves, B and C, I would be like, and pass the baton at that point.
Okay. If the other two things I would consider adding to this might be a wrap up of some kind, or a brief statement on where bills that we were watching were.
Yeah,
There were some that became 2-year bills. It might be good to introduce into that piece of the process. That is something that we can also do in part in written form so that it doesn't have to take terribly long.
I like that idea.
But there are a lot of bills that we were watching that have been repurposed in different ways. Some of them people will no longer care about. Some of them people will care a lot about. But those vehicles are already receiving amendments. The other thing that has also already happened that would be good to cover, and it would be wonderful if we could get Townsend for this, if they're available, is the governor's state of the state and the proposed budget. Because that's already a fact in the world. I'd like to be able to keep it somewhat timely.
May I just jump in real quickly?
Please.
We start the city selection committee meeting at 5:30. And
So we may not have time for
I
that
am
part.
very confident they will need the 45 minutes, multiple seats. I know you run
see.
meetings so efficiently. I'm confident that you will wrap it up in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm very confident. But for the LAC meeting, I would recommend plan 30 to 35 minutes so that Shally gets 10 minutes turnaround time. She has to, all the meetings she's
Okay.
recording, she has to, and there is the musical chairs being played with members joining in. So just be aware of that. And when you see the next agenda, you're going to realize we don't want to stop that too
Yeah,
late. We have items running from the November board meeting.
got it. Okay, so then
Just the fun.
Short and sweet. January for sure that's
Everything is important that I
Yeah.
heard from both of you. I completely agree, but just keep that in mind is my
Sure.
suggestion.
absolutely.
we can do the budget and the governor's state of the state in February, and that would be okay. We could even do an informational item in advance of it so that it's there with a link to the address so people can watch it and so forth.
And then discuss it in Feb.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, here, even in January, there will be lots of analysis that will be done by the time that we get to the meeting. So it would have been great to have been able to have gotten to it, but I don't see a problem if we were to do it in February. It would be okay, because bills will still be for this second half of the session, you'll still be seeing some introduced through that point in time.
Okay.
So I think that's okay.
Okay.
Did you want me to add the wrap up or the brief statement of the status of bills we're looking at last year as a separate agenda item?
I think it's sort of a chair's report type of thing.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
On the agenda or separately?
I think it could be on the agenda. That's okay. It could be very brief.
The
So
statement
could that
right there.
be,
Yeah.
could
Okay.
that be part of the like general introduction aspect, or should it be its own?
It could be a sub item on the welcome, if you
Okay.
like.
Your thoughts, Larry, on that?
No, I think that's fine. As long as it's concise and, you know, it's your meeting to run within the 45 minutes and.
That
try and
I
keep
will
things on
always be
track.
looking at the clock. That's one thing. Let's go.
I'll work with Andrew and Janny for the wording so that our descriptions of the agenda items are descriptive of what we're doing.
Thank you, Andrew.
In the
I'm seeing him nodding.
alternative, if you wanted to do it as the wrap up for that meeting, that's also, I think, valid, considering that
Interesting, yeah.
you're introducing what the
Sure.
call is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can hit them with letters and numbers at the end.
Actually, that might be.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds a little cleaner. Does anyone else have any feedback on? I kind of like that idea of just
Okay,
and with, oh, by the way, these were the things that we were working, or not we, but per se, but legislators were working on that we took an interest in, and here's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Here's the update.
Yeah.
So maybe that might be a D, an update in D, or
That's
like
fine, yeah.
like in the same column.
you want us
maybe?
3D or would you like it as 4?
I think
Three
it's,
D's probably, unless you think.
I think it's probably a 4.
Oh,
I
okay,
think it's,
sure.
it's a separate
Okay.
item. You can create an easy transition for it, but I think it's item 4.
Moving on,
Yeah.
item 4, got it.
I like that. And you are very lucky to have JR there.
Oh, I know
supporting.
this. Much appreciated.
Are there any more comments on the LAC agenda for January?
I don't believe so, not at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the January agenda.
Yeah.
For our board meeting. We're starting with our president's introduction. It'll be Chair Walia's first meeting that she's running, so people should know who she is. The consent agenda, we have minutes from our November board meeting, our special meeting on December 7th, technically, and the meeting calendar. So last year we put the meeting calendar on consent. Would you like me to do that this year as well? Or do you want it as a separate item?
Any thoughts?
Well, if you want discussion on holiday party and other things, then it has to be an agendized type. Now,
Okay.
I would push it last after everything else. You know, you have the tentative dates and February, March aren't going to matter, but it's the end of the year.
Sure.
And the holiday party that are the only difference. So, I mean, the holiday party as well as the summer party.
Mhm.
If we don't get to it, depending upon the meeting length,
Mhm.
I'd push it, before, anyway, I'll let you decide. But I do think that moving that to some degree makes sense.
I agree. And then we can just, and that's a great catch. We can, we'll have the full new board by Feb.
Mhm.
Mountain View is the last one to decide, I believe.
Mhm.
And we, all we need to do is announce that the next meetings are going to be per this cadence, and the calendar will be part of the agenda packet anyway. Only thing that doesn't happen is we are not voting on it.
Right.
Andrew, is there any reason for us that requires us to vote on the meeting schedule in January?
No, it's not required.
It's not required for the bylaws or something?
I don't recall anything in the bylaws that specifies it with that level of detail.
Okay, then I will say, let's just take that suggestion. That makes perfect sense, Larry. Move it down. We'll
what
move
should
it down to where 8 or,
After the city selection committee update or before?
I would push it after selection committee and LAC update.
okay,
If we don't get to Steve, we don't get to city
okay,
managers, it's important, but
okay, super. So
Okay.
we move the calendar there.
And then we have the cities association orientation. We have a
Hmm.
number of new people who are on our board, and this is something that I do every year, just kind of go very quickly. Also emphasizing what the expectation is of board members, that they will be the liaison between our association and their city councils. So I can run through that fairly quickly. So we also have the Brown Act update afterwards. And Andrew, do you just want to speak very briefly as to what that is? And yeah, Okay,
Yeah, I think it'll be a very brief discussion, and I think Janie plans to touch on the recent amendments that you're probably all aware of from the respective jurisdictions under Senate Bill 707. But I think just want to briefly address it in the JPA context. I don't think they'll be significantly different from an operational perspective, and again, I think it'll be very brief.
and both of these are discussion items, because there's nothing to vote on. Oh, so I'll make the calendar a discussion item also, not an action item.
I think we need to vote on.
It's an
You
action
want- It
item
is an action
Yeah,
item,
if
okay,
we,
sorry.
when we get to it.
Okay. And then 5 is determining the priority areas for the cities association. That'll be discussion and possible action. Last year, we ran out of a little bit of time and we voted on it in February. We finished it and then voted in February. So, but it's number 5. I can move it higher if you'd like, or in the agenda if you want to make sure you get to it. And then, I can work with you as to the structure, how you want to do it, whether you want to do the dots and, whatever.
Any thoughts on how to proceed with that? Real quick, just let's be mindful of the time. There are 3 more agendas to get through.
Right.
So,
This is your decision. This is however you want to run it.
thanks. I'll sort it out with Shally. That saves time right now.
Priority, yep.
Okay, super. Shally, more
Number,
to do.
okay. And numbers 6 and 7 were continued from our November meeting.
Mhm.
So the budget update is really sort of a mid-year, year-to-date actuals. What did we budget? How much did we actually spend? The reserve and investment policy that Janie and Andrew had drawn up for us to discuss that and to vote on it, because that does impact what we do with our excess funds.
Mhm.
Number 7 is also
Sorry, just to
oh,
interrupt.
sorry.
Yeah.
On number
Sorry, but-
6, on 6A, I did have one suggested amendment. And that
Oh,
is,
yeah, sorry.
because I believe there's a possibility there could be slight budget adjustments once we look at the actuals. So I would just suggest discussion and possible action on budget adjustments.
Okay. Do you want me to make that a separate sub-bullet?
No, I think it'd just be a part of the same item, unless Tim has any concerns.
So Tim, what would you prefer? Budget update and adjustments?
Potential adjustments.
Potential adjustments, yeah,
That's
because
what-
we're talking about,
Yeah, that works. So Shally, budget update and potential adjustments.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that works. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
No,
thank you.
thank you. I'm
Sorry,
glad.
Andrew, thank you.
Anytime.
So Tim, you're good. You'll sort it out with Shally, whatever. Do we need a staff report for this?
There's already a staff report.
Okay, great.
yeah, and I'm connecting with Rosemary next Wednesday morning
Okay,
to go
great.
over it.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so let's move on
Great.
to number 7.
Number 7 was also continued from our November meeting. It is the consideration of the request by the city of Cupertino for an amendment to the city's association, JPA and bylaws. I think that's, so, last time, Mayor Chow, who's now the vice mayor, she was a member of the public who spoke on that, but now this year she's a board member. So I think that she'll probably, I haven't confirmed with her, but I'm assuming she'll speak on it.
Okay, and any thoughts from anyone so far with all of this? I was planning to work with Shally on managing the time because it's a packed meeting,
Mhm.
the January 22nd. And some items have been moving from the November meeting, so I would like to get them addressed in January. And any thoughts? No, Larry, good?
Good.
Okay, super. Let's move on, Shally.
Okay, number 8 is the city selection committee update that
Yep.
Mayor Klein will just say who got
Yep.
voted into what. The legislative action committee update is pretty straightforward. County update, city managers association update, the executive director update. Those are pretty standard. Now, are there any things that you would like me to put as information items that go below the agenda? Is there anything that you think?
Not for January.
Anyone?
Because in the future, we'll have the LAC letters under there too. Okay, so,
And any public comment before I forget?
no one has their hand raised for this.
Andrew, any other thoughts from you? No. Okay, motion
Okay.
to approve?
So,
Motion
oh wait,
to.
are we doing the February agendas or no? Or
No,
separate-
that's a separate item.
Oh, got it. Oh, I made, yeah, sorry.
Motion to approve the agenda with the changes discussed and leaving it to the president and the executive director to make any adjustments as needed.
Second.
Thank you for adding
Thank
that.
you.
So sorting stuff out.
Okay, second was by Scazola. Okay. Okay, motion to approve the agendas with the changes discussed and to give the board president and the executive director the authority to change them or tweak them. I'll figure out the language. Was made by Klein, seconded by Scazola. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Wait, motion passes unanimously.
Language is to update as needed.
Update is needed. Thank you. Okay, shall we move on to the
Yeah.
February agendas?
Mm.
So the February 12th LAC agenda, so
This
Um,
one,
yeah, it's
this was where everything got really messy last year. Because we were in the aftermath of the fire.
Oh, yes.
I would explicitly include a chair update,
oh, yes.
probably as item 2.
Okay,
And then I think it's a good time to have guest speakers. They're still in the process of introducing things. It's a good time for them to be able to pitch us on some of their bills. If we can get Townsend for the proposed budget and governor's State of the State address, I would replace the item number 3 with that.
okay,
And then 4, I would leave as is, early bill review and discussion for potential action.
okay.
Hopefully people will have done some homework at that point.
Yes.
And we can always fill in bills at that point too. I think that's sufficient.
Okay, that's good.
Any predictions for how many thousands we'll have this year?
My only comment is that this agenda will need attention. And since the executive committee meeting, executive committee is not going to be meeting
Mhm.
prior to this agenda. I expect a lot of coordination.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Between
Absolutely.
the LAC chair and the executive director. Larry, any thoughts from you?
And just a reminder, President Malia, that we want a motion for you and I to have the latitude to tweak these agendas.
Yeah.
Because
He
the-
already did that for the January meeting. That's what Mayor Klein did.
Right.
Just so beautiful.
Oh.
February will be even bigger.
Any other comments on February? February LAC.
I mean, I feel like I'm just repeating myself. I just really hope that people do their homework and we have a nice discussion and then I mean, you never know what's going to happen with those bills that are they alive? Are they dead? We'll see which ones are the Frankenstein monsters and which ones are the beautiful butterflies. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the opposite of
So
Frankenstein.
if you are definitely giving them the homework assignment at
Yes.
the January meeting,
Yes,
then
I
what I
suppose.
can do is email ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a lot of, some of our cities have budget analysts and
Mhm.
policy folks
Sure.
who actually ask me to send them the LAC agenda and they prepare their
Councilmember.
council members. So I can give them enough time in advance so that by the February meeting, they have something to share.
Wonderful.
In addition, since Elliot is also not technically a member of the body, he's not
Mm.
bound by the Brown Act per se, so he can
Oh.
contact every single member if he needed to for a one-on-one
Interesting.
conversation. So that is
That's a
That way.
great idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it
Freed
that way.
from some hand.
No, you're not free. You're given more homework.
Well,
You're
okay.
given more homework.
You obviously.
That's right. Well, that's true. Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know you were such a
Okay,
cynic.
let's move on with the
board.
Yeah, with the board.
So-
I'm
It
trying
is
to
more
wrap it
open.
up by 6 if we can.
Okay, so we start off with the consent agenda, which is the approval of our minutes. And if the priority areas item is finished, last year we had that on consent. Would you like me to leave that on consent? Okay, very good.
We don't need it?
Sorry,
We have voted in the prior meeting. If we have voted on the,
but you haven't voted in the priorities, most likely.
if we have in January,
It's how you, forget it. It's how you want to run the meeting. The question is, for time's sake, normally,
Uh-huh.
we allow people to vote on what their priorities are.
Uh-huh.
The dot thing and all that after the meeting ends. They don't have to do it in the meeting. They can
Uh-huh.
think about it. They can add items to the list. They can do other things. So normally January is discuss what potential things are
Mhm,
and put your dots, which you think are the
mhm,
highest priorities.
mhm,
Or add something after the meeting
Mhm.
and people add dots.
mhm.
And then in February, you vote. You at least update
Of
them
course,
on,
course.
here's the top 4, 5,
Mhm.
7, whatever
Okay,
that made it through. So you should have a vote on what the priorities
Of
are
course,
and a
of course.
final discussion. So it
Oh.
can't be consent.
okay. So it has to
Got
be
it.
pulled out.
It has
Okay,
to be pulled out.
it is not consent. Thank you. I was envisioning all of that happening in January, but that's a bit too aggressive for January.
Especially with
So
the meeting.
thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that.
So if I move it as a separate agenda item, where would you like me to put it?
After 2 or after 3?
Figured out. It's-
Okay.
it's not- we're giving you, ultimately, we'll give you the flexibility.
Okay, okay, we'll move it down.
By February, we should have a pretty good website update. I think that would be
Oh,
a good thing
good.
to discuss. I put other agenda items in case there's other things. And for the reports from regional appointed representatives, Brian Mekachuk, I understand, has agreed to do the RWRC update,
Oh,
which is great. Under other agenda items, I should have put, these are our, generally we have guest speakers here. And I know that that's the next on our executive committee agenda to speak about that. I guess I'll wait to speak on that, I guess. Are there any other agenda items that you think we should? Okay,
Any ideas for Feb? So far, we are working on some guest speakers. February is the light meeting because the priority areas are not quite concrete and the turnaround time is so little.
mhm.
People are just grappling with their schedules in January. So,
and then do you want to
So we're good?
discuss? Yeah, so we can vote on this and then discuss speakers as the next agenda item.
okay. Any public comment on the February 12th LAC or board meeting agendas? Any
Uh,
member of
no.
the public?
No one online?
Okay, none in the room. So do I have a motion to approve the February agendas, Larry?
Motion to approve the February agendas and allowing the president and executive director to make any updates as needed.
Second.
Thank you.
Great. Motion to approve the February 12th, 2026 board and LAC agendas with the changes discussed and with the ability to allow the president and executive director to make any updates as needed was made by Klein, seconded by Scazola. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. We might make 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
G, future
Okay.
meeting topics.
Okay, so I've been having a few discussions with various people who want to come and speak to us, and I'm going to make an advocacy plea. One of the groups is and I forget the name exactly, but it's a nonprofit that works with human trafficking. And they would like to come before the board and talk about what they're doing. Their main ask is that they want they have consistent messaging around human trafficking. And they would like places to put that up in all of our cities. So it could be bathrooms, it could be billboards, could be, whatever. But the reason I'm asking for this to be put on the February agenda is that unfortunately it'll be after the Super Bowl, but it'll be before all the FIFA games.
Mhm.
So there is a chance that we can capture this. And if you had any questions, I did talk to her quite extensively. There might be a very small monetary ask, they're nonprofit, if they have to. But yeah, so they're vetted by the Bay Area Host Committee, the Santa Clara County Commission on Human Trafficking. They're working with these guys and they are pushing the county to adopt the language that this group has come up with. And just as an FYI, they've donated $8,000 to this group. They're crowdsourcing funding. There's no requirement at all But if anyone wanted to, I think the ask is the 3,000 to 5,000 ask, but I'm gonna let them speak on that. So what they're trying to push is their big initiative, which is called Safety for the Bay. It is a website with all kinds of resources on it, and this website is a living document, so it'll always be updated. And well after the last big sporting event, this website will still remain up, and it'll still be like in use. So it is really like a list of all the different resources. So I think they want to put that website as part of their messaging.
Any questions, comments? So firstly, thank you, Larry, for introducing them to us. And shall we have a good productive meeting? So any thoughts from you, and then go to Alex?
My only comment is, I wouldn't put action as far as funding.
Mhm.
They can
Yeah.
ask the organization, they can ask the cities, but it's not normal for any organization to come in front of us asking for money.
And I can tell her that also, so that she doesn't make that ask.
Yes.
She said the more critical thing is to be able to be given space.
Right.
To put up the messaging.
I would prefer that you not ask for money.
Okay.
I agree with you. That's not appropriate. Elliot?
Yes, thank you. I just out of curiosity, and obviously I can take this offline, whatever, but I just was curious, is this because like being a global affair, there's just going to be a whole lot more bodies here, and so this is just one of those problems that just unfortunately is a problem that
So
needs to
human
be addressed.
trafficking does spike
Ah,
when you have these kinds of
yeah, that
events. You
makes
have a lot of
sense,
people
sure.
coming in.
unfortunately.
It's gonna impact the entire Bay Area because
Mhm.
everyone coming in with the hotels and the different teams.
Uh,
Law enforcement has been working on this for, I think, well over 2 years now, and they're also working with this group. So they're involved, Bay Area Host Committee is involved. Everyone's got eyes on the issue of human trafficking. And I had spoken to Tim just very briefly in the hallway that I'm going to ask if they can come on a future, relatively soon, City Managers Association meeting agenda, so that the city managers also are informed about what this group is doing.
mhm.
And
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.
So-
Look forward to hearing more about it.
So Shali, you have some other speakers who have
Yes.
reached out, some are reaching out to me, and we have some other thoughts. Anything you want to mention here and get some quick ideas so that we
yeah.
can still wrap up by 6, and we'll work through our agendas in the next few months to
Okay.
identify speakers.
I just wanted to point out Catherine Alexander. So this was recommended by Steve Preminger. She's from the County Office of Supported Housing.
Mm,
She would like to come and speak to us. She wants to give our group a preview of the upcoming 5-year community plan to end homelessness. Information item. Okay. Of course, we also have from last year, we have our electric bike ordinances, something to think about. I think the Bay Area Air District has new air quality requirements. So I don't think any of those are as time sensitive as the human trafficking one.
Mhm.
So although it probably would be good to get a lot of these folks on our agenda earlier rather than later.
As we start identifying our priorities and start getting speakers there. Any other thoughts, subjects that come to mind now?
I'm sure that you already mentioned people that we knew about last year, but is there anybody left hanging? Do we know of from maybe not last year, but years before? Like, is there a list at anyone's back of their mind of like any speakers that, oh yeah, that person never actually spoke? And I'm just curious about
If you have any thoughts, just send an email to
Okay.
Shali. And then we can work through scheduling where we want to put them, and I
Mhm.
work with her on the agenda planner. And then we'll bring it to the next executive committee meeting.
And we're pretty good about making sure we schedule anyone who comes to us.
Yes, and there's a cadence to the months to identify them, where the speakers go at which month. So that's kind of how we have been dealing with it the
All right.
last few years. I've picked up seeing all my predecessors, Margaret, Lisa, Larry.
Absolutely.
Super. Do we have a member of the public to speak on item G for potential meeting topics?
And no one online has their hand raised.
Okay. And there is no vote needed here, so we move on to the Santa Clara County City Managers Association update, and we have Saratoga's Assistant City Manager, Leslie Arroyo here, in place of Mike Morley, our City Manager. So Leslie, what's the update?
Well.
Or Tim.
Maybe.
I mean, I think we
maybe
know
Tim can
half
have
of
more-
what you're about to tell us.
Let me make it simpler. Let's skip Saratoga's update. No, this is, maybe Tim can help us with,
Thank you,
the
Tim. I'll
Yes.
pass it on to
county
Tim.
city manager's update.
We had a holiday luncheon in December. That was really well attended. And enjoyed that a lot. And we did I'm not remembering exactly what the agenda was now, it's so long ago. We have our first meeting of the new year next Wednesday. And I am chairing that group this year, so I don't know what the agenda is, but I will know by tomorrow morning when I have to distribute the agenda, so. But no big updates with us so far this year. I think Leslie maybe has something to share here for the group, if you would like.
With Saratoga, sure. Yeah, I think our current city manager, Matt Morley, has accepted the role, if you haven't heard already, as the administrator for Gilroy. He grew up there, he lives there. So it's understandable. We do have a closed session with our city council tomorrow night to determine next steps for Saratoga. So, but it's anticipated that he'll be with us through a good part of January, and then I believe he'll start his role right away early February. So, yeah, a little bittersweet, but I do understand it's tough to make that decision for him. I'm sure I know it was tough for him, but I would imagine he ends his career in Gilroy. So, yeah.
So our next executive committee meetings will move back on the regular schedule to location in Saratoga. You booked the conference room there.
Mhm.
And the board meetings, as already agreed on, will be here in this room in Sunnyvale, and deeply appreciative of Sunnyvale.
Yeah, no problem. I did neglect to share one thing. I have been working quite a bit with the city manager of Palo Alto, Ed Chicada, and the HR directors for the county on for various cities in the county on the Santa Clara County Leadership Academy, which is an annual thing that we do. And we're working through revamping that and reevaluating it. Former city manager Greg Larson has been running that for many years, but he has been retired and would like to actually completely retire. And so he's handing that off to former city manager of Los Altos Hills, who also recently has moved on to Pepperdine. I forget the name of the foundation or the organization at Pepperdine University, but he's going to be the executive director there. But he's also going to help support that. And then we're relooking at the entire academy program and speakers and training and starting that transition for the following year as well. So that's kind of a big change that affects mostly our staff, city staff, but each city sends usually at least 2 or 3 people every year.
Super. Thank you so much, Tim.
Yeah, executive
Director's update, last item. Let's get out of here
All
before
right.
6.
So this time of the year, it's kind of fun because I feel like I'm meeting new people, but I'm trying to stay on top of which council members are coming in on our board, which ones
Yeah.
are leaving our board and are lax. So I don't really have the full list yet. I've got quite a few. There's a few assumptions right here that I can make, but that's kind of what I've been working on. It's a lot of me getting my resources together so that the rest of the year ends up being very smooth and easy. So it's a lot of that. Housekeeping, I guess you could call it housekeeping.
Oh, yes. Every year, a little bit of housekeeping.
And that's it.
Working through the transition.
Yes,
Thank you.
exactly. And I have to say, it's been a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you.
Oh, I gotta thank Mayor Klein. He was wonderful to work with. He was really wonderful to work with. No, I mean that honestly. I don't know if you all know this. I don't want to sound like a creepy, but I kind of observe my
No.
president, as I work closely with the president. And I always learn so much from just watching how you do business. And so thank you very much, Mayor Klein, for that. I did think that I was watching you, but but now you know.
Thank you very much.
Well, yeah. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay, on that positive note, with a big thanks to the 2025 board president, Mayor Klein, for all the support, the advice, the guidance. And you may have noticed, I pulled him right next to me, so he can continue to.
We'll stop
guide
doing
me.
that.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
sure, you need to run.
Okay, okay, thanks. With that, the meeting is adjourned at 5:53 p.m.
Oh,
Thank
7
you.
minutes ahead even. All right.
Thanks, Andrew.
To wrap it up in 1
Thank
hour.
you. Good to